Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my fifth graders English Language Arts or ELA plan. The other day I shared with you my sixth graders plan, and there's some variations in what my fifth grader is going to be doing, so I thought I would share that with you guys as well. If this is your first time, welcome. My name is Morgan here at The Life of Tillmans. Let's get started. On a regular basis, I like to focus on specific areas for my girls. My oldest is really focused on writing, and so that's more vocabulary, more spelling. My middle daughter also needs to work on those things as well, but it's a little bit of a different focus for her. It's about understanding more of what she is reading. So reading comprehension. So you will see that kind of theme in what we are going through, even though there are some similarities between what my sixth grader does and what my fifth grader is doing also. So for my fifth grader, she does Daily Grams by Easy Grammar. And then she also does Easy Grammar, the workbook as well. I'm having a hard time holding these books, but she does these Monday through Friday. Every day she is doing Easy Grammar and Daily Grams. Anywhere from 2 to 3 pages a day for Easy Grammar, and then 1 to 2 pages a day for Daily Grams. And that's just based off of the schedule that we have set up for her to be able to complete it by the end of the year. I will link our scheduling video down below so that you guys can take a look at that and see exactly what I'm talking about when I mention schedules for her. She is also doing the Evan Moore spelling grade 5, and she is doing this daily. However, what I allow my girls to do when they are doing this is to go through and do what I call a pre-test. And this is a test where they don't study the words at all. They simply hop on and take the test. If they miss more than one, they have to do the week's lesson. There are 30 weeks within this curriculum. And so they would go through, there's something for them to do every day, and then they would take a test on Friday. So if they miss more than one. Now, for my fifth grader, the one that she misses, if she misses one, that one then goes into her vocabulary journal. And yes, this is vocabulary, so we want to know the meaning of the words. The reason is because this really helps with placing the words in correct context. So she's not able to spell the word, and so I have her go in and put the word in this vocabulary notebook. In this vocabulary notebook, and this is by School Nest Printing, they have to put the definition of the word, they have to use the word in their own words, draw the word if possible, some form of picture to go with it, use it in a sentence, and then copy the word down several times. So when they're doing the copy work, this is going to help her with spelling, but she is also getting the meaning of these words as well. So this is an additional vocabulary that she is doing. And then she does a word study portion of it where she has to break the word down. Does it have a prefix, a root word, and a suffix? What are synonyms and antonyms, and what are examples of those for that specific word? So anytime she misses a word, she has to do this if it's just one word. Now, if she misses multiple words, then she's going through the spelling lesson. She also has Spectrum vocabulary. Now, one of the things is that this Spectrum vocabulary, and I did a flip through of it, I will link that down below for you to take a look at it. It does not have specific lessons. It doesn't say, there are 30 weeks, 5 days a week, that type of thing. There are just pages. There's just pages in this book, and then there's also test taking at the end. She goes through this and does her words. Typically, she doesn't miss a single thing. And so 1 page a day is what she does for this 5 days a week. The only time that she is within her vocabulary journal is if she misses one word here and doesn't have to do the lessons here. We'll go over and do the vocabulary here. So she could possibly take 3 tests in a week, depending on how well she's doing on those for her spelling. Okay, moving on. She also has handwriting. Handwriting is just 10 minutes a day. She sets a timer. When the 10 minutes is up, she's done. She may or may not have completed a full page, and we just move on from there. She does that every day. Now for writing, my 6th grader and my 5th grader both do writing strands beginning level 1, and they do this Monday through Thursday. There are a couple of days within that week that they're able to do together on the same day because it's not a whole lot of work. And so I allow them to do that. That makes room for her to do her creative writing curriculum, which is the Writer's Workshop. We started this last year. She really enjoys it. My oldest is not using it anymore. She has moved on to something else, but Maggie really enjoys this creative writing curriculum. So this is her Friday writing. So she does writing strands Monday through Thursday with my oldest daughter. And then on Fridays, she has her own separate creative writing curriculum that actually she and I sit down and do together because it's really his family style. So we enjoy that time that we get to spend together. That's her everyday things that she does. Some other things that she is doing that I'm adding on because I want to focus more on using words in context, context clues, inferences, reading comprehension. She is going to be using the Abeka read and comprehend skill sheets, and this is for level 5. There are about 42 skill sheets in here, and what she will do is, this is timed less than 5 minutes. She will read the short passage and she will answer the questions. This is not an everyday thing. She may do it twice a week. We'll be done with it fairly quickly. There are only 42 lessons within it, but this is to really help with her reading comprehension. Something else, we started working on this last year. Yes, it says grades 4 to 5, and she is in the 5th grade. This is supposed to be a 1-week thing for each lesson. She does an entire lesson in 1 day. It's not that hard, but what I'm trying to get her accustomed to doing is reading and answering questions. The reading comprehension. What did you just read? How can you give that back to me? What does it mean? Were there any words that you did not understand? How can we use context clues to figure out what those words mean? That is why we are doing so much reading comprehension. So when she's not doing this one, we will be working on this one. Both of these are 10 minutes or less any given day that we're working on them. The other thing is Inferences Jones. Inferences Jones, this says 3rd and 4th grade, but we're working on inferences. What is this trying to tell us? What message is it trying to give us? This is helping her to really think deeper when she is reading material. She can read it all day long, but sometimes she finishes and she's like, what did I just read? And it's because she's just not thinking on that level. She is my science girl. She is my STEM girl. She comprehends and understands great, but I just really want to fine tune a little bit of that reading comprehension, that inferences, context clues for her learning. And so this is very sporadic as well. There are 18 lessons within this book. So if she did it once a week, we're done with it fairly quickly. And I believe she's done like the first 3 lessons already because we started on it last year. So this is another thing that is added into her ELA components. On top of all of that, she does independent reading, and we do read alouds, and then there's also history things that we are reading. So there's plenty of opportunity for her to read. She also has literature studies. I'm going to share those with you guys really quickly. But for reading, in her independent reading, anytime she finishes a book, she then goes over to her reading journal. And in this journal, she answers specific questions about the book that she read. She will give the title, the author, the date. She will rate the book, how well she liked it or didn't like it. She's going to give a summary of the book, any thoughts that she may have, questions, quotes, and an illustration. And what this does, again, it really helps her to think deeper about what it is that she is reading, to really get down to it. How did it make her feel? Did she not like it? Was she bored with the book? This will also help me to be able to pick out books that she truly enjoys. I used this reading journal last year to help me figure out books to pick for her this year. I'm going to link that video down below as well of the books that I picked out for her to do as independent reads. And y'all, we are making some amazing strides when it comes to that. She's loved every single book so far. And this reading journal helped me to figure that out when she would do a reading review over just a random book. And I'm like, oh, that's really not her style. Or this is a really good topic for her. So this is what we use in the reading journal. She only does the reading journal when she finishes a book. So if she finishes one book every 2 weeks, then she'll come in here and do a review over that book. If she finishes 2 books in a week, then she'll have 2 reviews that week. Now let's move on to literature studies. I broke my girls up and they are doing separate literature studies. My oldest daughter, who's in 6th grade, and then Maggie, who's in 5th grade, because there's clear defining differences in the literature that they like and the levels that they are on. And that was kind of hard for me. At first I was like, no, we can do it all together. But there's differences, and what they want to read is different. And so I chose literature studies that I feel like will challenge her, but also something that she will enjoy. And one of these, she actually picked out all on her own. So this first literature study is My Side of the Mountain, and this is by Moving Beyond the Page. We have the book here. There is also another book that goes along with this study as well that we bought, but this is for ages 9 to 11. She is 10. She falls right in the middle of there, but she wanted to read this book. She's kind of like, I wonder if this is some form of a mystery or something. I didn't tell her exactly what the book was about, but I definitely think that it is something that she will enjoy. So we are going to be incorporating literature studies within our studies for this school year. Stick around. I'm going to tell you how I'm putting all of this together for a full picture so that it completes her study, but that she has time, because there's no way that she can do all of this at one time. So stay with me. The next literature study was her choice. She wanted to work on poetry. This is also Moving Beyond the Page, ages 9 to 11, and this is simply a poetry study. The books that go along with this are Love That Dog, which I got at Half Price Books for $2, and then My America, Poetry Atlas of the United States. We also checked this out from the library. There are 2 additional books that go along with this study that I do not have. I'm going to get those online, but I'll put pictures of them up here for you guys to take a look at. But she will be going through this literature study. Now, every single one of the Moving Beyond the Page literature studies says anywhere from 13 to 15 days. So that will be 3 weeks for us if we're doing it 5 days a week, if we stretch it out to 15 days. Stick with me. So the last literature study is Holes. And this is also by Moving Beyond the Page, and it is for ages 8 to 10. I'm actually going to have her start on this one first because it's at a little bit of a lower level for her, just to really get her started with doing this literature study independently. She is going to be doing this on her own. She will read, and I will sit down with her and we will talk about the questions and the grammar aspect of it and all of those things. But the reading is independent reading. So I want to kind of ease her into this literature study because this will be the first one that she will do solely on her own. And so I want to help her build that confidence and know that this is something that she can do, which I know she can. She reads books all the time. So going through and answering these questions, that will be something that she and I sit down to do together, and she will give me a summary of the book because I've never read Holes. Saw the movie, never read the book. Okay, so now you're probably wondering, Morgan, that's a lot of stuff in the ELA components. How are you going to fit it all in? Y'all, listen. So we are on a rotation where we do 7 weeks of school and we do our 8th week off. This is actually our 8th week when I'm recording this video right now. But what I'm going to do, they are going to start literature studies. There's our second 8-week rotation, which we are about to start in 5 days. When we go through literature studies, these will be done weeks 5 through 7. So 5, 6, 7. 5 days a week, that's 15 days. That will get us through one literature study. When they are doing literature studies, we will not do spelling, vocabulary, writing, no handwriting either. She is going to be focused solely on completing this literature study. It has spelling, vocabulary, grammar work, writing, reading comprehension. She won't do any of her other things. She will do this literature study and that will be it. And then if she has any independent reading, she will put that into her reading journal. Now, handwriting, I say no handwriting. If she chooses to do handwriting and she definitely has time to do it, I'm all about it. It's handwriting, it's 10 minutes a day. So we can make that work. But everything else, easy grammar, stops. She will also work on daily grams because daily grams is another thing that just kind of gets them a quick warm up. And so that gives her 10 minutes to work on daily grams, and then she'll go into doing her literature studies. So everything stops the last 3 weeks of our rotation, weeks 5, 6, and 7, for her to focus on doing the literature study and really giving her all in that specific area. And she is still going to be getting vocabulary, spelling, grammar work. She will also be getting reading comprehension work. It is all encompassing of everything. So I don't feel the need to keep going with everything else when we start working on a literature study. And it's a nice change of pace for her. She is truly going to enjoy it.